my loves, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make a quick little video about this subject because I've been seeing a lot of stuff about this. Not only about the soft girl. How do you become a soft girl as a Christian, or is it even possible to become a soft girl? Because truthfully, as a Christian, you're battling so much, right? We're supposed to be soldiers of God. We're ready to, have our weapon, have our sword ready to fight. So how does that equate, or how does that sound like soft? How do you live a soft life as a Christian, right? And also, how do you get to that level as someone, or as a person who has been traumatized or is dealing with a lot of trauma? Because as someone who's experienced a lot of trauma, it is extremely difficult to be soft. Let me explain. How can you be soft when you have so much anger? As someone like me who carried so much anger, so much hatred in my heart, and that's why I'm emphasizing on hatred, because I don't want to say it's gone. I'm still dealing with it. That's something that I'm still working on. God knows, I can't lie. So I'm dealing with a lot of hatred, a lot of resentment. So how do you even become a soft girl? How is that even possible? How do you deal with that, and how can you soften yourself? Before we get too deep, I want to share a little bit of my story. I was raised in church. I've been going to church my whole life, basically. But all the churches that I've been to have been terrible examples of how to be Christians, or just I had really terrible experiences as a child in church. I've seen a lot of things happen in front of me that made me despise church. At some point, I could not stand the thought of God. And the things that I've seen, honestly, I feel like a 55-year-old girl or woman. I don't know how to say it, but I feel like I'm so old because I've been through so many experiences, and me by myself, I've had to grow up so fast. I don't think I had enough time to be a child, so I had to grow up really of I have family trauma. I don't even talk to my family that much, specifically on my father's side. I don't talk to them. I don't get along with them. I have a lot of things, traumatic stuff that is tied to that side of my family. So I don't really speak to them. I have a lot of hatred going on for these people. I'm gonna be so honest with you. That is why we're still navigating. I don't want to lie and be like I am all healed. I'm not healed. I think I'm in a process of healing. I'm in a process of kind of understanding why I feel this way and how I need to move on, and so that the enemy does not keep me in this chain. But I have a lot of hatred in my heart that I keep towards these people every single day. I'm trying to heal, get past it, and I think going to therapy would help, but I'm not a therapy person, I would say. So how do you live a soft life with trauma when you have so many built up anger that you feel like sometimes you need to get out? Personally, I feel like some days I'm okay. Some days, and it's different for some people, because some people every single day they feel this hatred in their heart. Some days I feel okay. Some days I don't think about my trauma. Some days I'm like, okay, I'm doing great. I'm doing okay for myself. And other days, it all comes back. So I think if you're someone, even if you do go to therapy, I feel like a journal would really help. Write some things down. Write things down. And even if you try to be a soft girl, make sure that you're also a soldier of Christ. Okay, make sure that you're praying, you're getting that time along with the Lord where you feel like, okay, I'm ready. I'm a soft girl, right? You make yourself a soft girl, because you can only be so soft as a Christian woman, because you're battling so much. The enemy, if you're a Christian woman or a Christian man and you feel like life is very easy for you, like you're not dealing with anything, everything is going the way that you want it, you're not battling every day, then maybe you need to check yourself, because I know that it's a daily war. Like we're in a war every single day, fighting with ourselves, with our flesh. The trauma that I've been through shaped me into who I am today. So trauma can make you something big, okay? And some people don't have to go through trauma to be what they are, but most a lot of people that I've seen, they've been through a lot to get to where they are. If your parents built something for you already, that's a different story. But if you're someone who is building from scratch, a lot of these people I've seen, they've been through a lot. And I feel like things like that, they build resilience, they make you stronger. As long as you're not dwelling too much on your hurt. If you feel like you're hurt, it hurts a lot. So it's not something that you can just get over. It hurts a lot. But don't dwell too much on it. What can you do to make yourself better, to make something better? How can I make something of me, of this hurt? Yes, I've been hurt, but maybe God is trying to build me to be something. Maybe I can help someone else through my testimony, through my hurt. That's how you can do it. I feel like I'm not 100% there yet. I'm still battling. Can you believe how much control you give someone over your life when you allow someone's ignorance or someone's devilish behaviors, that the enemy used them to do you hurt, to hurt you? It's all the enemy's doing. So the enemy is what is hurting you, or what has caused that's caused this person to hurt you. And they're using that same hurt that they've hurt you with, and they're keeping you binded. They're locking you in this prison, and it's making it impossible for you to do what you need to do. I feel like I could have made so much progress personally. I could have been so much more further in life if I had just let go. And I'm probably gonna get emotional. I need to pause myself a little bit. I could have gotten so far in life if I had just let go. Let go. Just let go. Just let go. If I had just let go, I would have gotten through. I would have been so much more further in life. But some days I'm okay, but some days I remember that hurt. Some days it's like it doesn't really go away. It's a scar. It's still there. And sometimes it pinches you. Sometimes you feel it a little bit. Something happened and it caused you to kind of feel it a little more. Ooh, I feel it a little more today. I feel the hurt a little more today. It's just some days you don't feel it. Some days you do. So that's why God asks us to forgive, because when you forgive, you're not forgiving for the other person. You're doing it for yourself, to relieve yourself of the stress, of the misery that you go through on a daily basis. And forgiveness is tough. Forgiveness is tough for me. Forgiveness is like a very hard concept for me to understand. Or I should say it was hard for me to understand, because now something happened between me and somebody and I was able to forgive him. That was the first time. And I said, okay, I acknowledge this person hurt me, did something to me, but consciously I forgave them. And I was like, whoa, that's what it feels like to forgive someone, because I've been trying to forgive these people for the longest of time. I wanted to get it out of my heart. I want to forgive, but it's just not going away. It's just, I'm binded by this hurt, and the hurt is not going away. And as a child, I went to therapy. I was taking medication. I had anger issues. I was going to anger therapy. I don't know. I was going through a lot. Okay, I had anger issues. I was not the best, because all those things I was holding inside. So soft girl is not only by appearance, making sure that you take care of yourself on the outside. That is why you should not be carrying your problems with you, because when you carry when you carry this trauma with you, you look like it. You're always angry. You could be walking down the street. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with this person? Like, they're always angry. And I found myself like that. Personally, I would walk and I would notice that I have a fist, right? I would have a fist. I'm walking to have a fist. I'm just like, oh my goodness, just calm down. Just calm down. Like, you're fine. You're okay. You don't need to be fisting like you're going to fight somebody. And I always like to remind myself, you're okay. You're fine. And if you need to remind yourself that you're okay and you're fine, then that's what you need to do. That is why having a journal is very important. And if people read my journal, they're going to think I'm crazy. If you guys have my journal, like, oh my gosh, she's insane. All right, she's insane. Like, woo. But my journal is very, like, I write about myself, but I act like I'm talking it like in third person. So make sure that you write If you feel like writing in first person, second person, third person, do it, because that's how I do myself. Okay, I'm writing about myself, and it feels like I'm talking to myself as I'm writing. And if you think that's crazy, then I guess I'm crazy. But make sure that you get that hurt out, because if you don't get that hurt out, you need to get it out. If you need to cry, cry. But I know some people cannot cry. I have met people that cannot cry. Me, if I need to cry, I'm gonna cry. I'm a cry baby, okay? If I remember it, I'm gonna try so hard not to cry. I try my hardest not to cry, but sometimes the tear comes out anyways. So crying is like one of my coping skills. I cry, I let it out, I just cry. And I sing. Singing helps a lot too. But finding a coping skill is very important. Like, I remember in the past, my coping skill was self-harm. That was my coping skill. But obviously I would be harming myself. And the Lord does not want that. You're not in tune with the word of Christ. If you're hurting yourself, you're doing those types of things, God is not gonna look at you and be like, that's good. No, the Lord does not want that. So I try to get my hurt out in writing. If I need to scream, I scream. If I need to cry, I cry. I let it out. Just let it out. Find different ways to cope with it, because if you do not cope with your hurt, you're always gonna be angry. You're never gonna be able to live the life that you want. Let the pain out. Let it out. Get it out. You have to get it out. If you keep it in, then every day you're gonna keep being angry. You're gonna keep having outbursts. Just get it out. Get it out. Just the way that you carry yourself, the way that you dress, the way that you speak to other people, that kind of shows who you are. And that's why it's really important. If you can go to therapy, then definitely go, because I feel like therapy can help a lot. Therapy helps a lot. You deal with your issues. Be grown, deal with your issues. You have issues, deal with them. Face your issues head on. And me personally, I like to isolate. I don't like to have my issues or, my problems head on. I like to just kind of isolate, like not deal with my problems or whatever. But now I'm kind of learning to kind of deal with it head on, because the faster that you deal with your problems, the easier it is for you to move on, and the faster the process is. That is why when you have so much trauma and you have kids, those kids are going to be abused. Those kids are going to go through just so much, because you have your problems that you have not dealt with. That's why it's so important for me, because I know that I need to deal with myself. I need to fix this. I need to get this together, okay? So make sure that you do deal with your problems. Make sure you seek the Lord. God is, oh my goodness, I don't know how to explain it. When you go to the Lord with your problems, there is so much peace. You have this peace knowing that I'm not there yet. I'm not where I need to be right now, but I have faith in the Lord, and I'm gonna be tested. I was tested, guys. Let me tell you guys what happened. So, I went to visit the church, right? And I saw one of my family members that I told you guys that I don't get along with, and they went to that church too to visit. And as of now, I'm not driving, and I have a little fear of driving, guys, that I need to get over. But I'm gonna get over in the name of Jesus Christ. By the end of this year, I'm gonna get my car, just get my license, everything. So. Yeah, I have a fear of driving, so I don't drive yet. I'm just like, I'm scared, I need to calm down. But they kind of use that as a way to get to me. Like, oh, you're not driving yet. Oh. Like, oh, I'm better than you because I have my license. And it's just kind of like, what? And the crazy thing is, I kind of did let it get to me. And I had my friend who was there, and she was like, girl, look at you. You're 19 years old. Look at everything that you're doing at your age. Like your driver's license, a car, you can get it anytime that you want. You don't have it yet because you don't want to have it. I'm just like, yeah, you're right. I can have it right now if I want to. I don't want to yet. I don't want to yet. Now I want to. I'm in the process of getting my license, but I can at any point that I want to. And they made me feel like, well, yeah, I'm better than you in that, whatever, I have my license. It's just like, it's like a competition for them. And at some point I started thinking about it, and I feel like why God put me in that position. Let me tell you guys. So I was praying for forgiveness. God, help me, teach me how to forgive, because I need to get these things out of my heart. I need to take I really wanted to take communion, because I had not taken communion ever. So the pastor was like, you need to start participating, taking communion. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And she's like, you need to get these people out of your heart. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I need to get them. I need to stop holding on to so much hate. And I'm praying like, God, help me get this hate out. Help me to forgive these people. And God put me in that position. I said, God, look at you. God really put me in that position. And he's just like, you need to face it head on. And I'm just not the type of person to face things head on. And I'm just like, there's no way. Like, I was crying. I was like, God, this is unacceptable. And not to God, but like the whole situation of like what they said to me was unacceptable. This is crazy, blah, blah, blah. And my friend was like, don't you feel like God is putting you in this position like on purpose? You've been praying for God to, for you to forgive these people. And I hadn't seen them in like years. And she's like, you haven't seen them in years. So this had to be God. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, you're right. This had to be God. Like, it's so crazy that we met at that church. But I'm like, yeah. So God put me in that position because he needed me to face this head on. And since now, I feel like a lot of the things that I was holding has kind of starting to let go. I will not say 100%. I will not lie to you and tell you that I'm 100% there. I'm forgiving them. Absolutely not. I can still feel that I'm holding on to something. And it's just so hard to let go. But I know that I'm in the process of letting this thing go. And I claim it in the name of Jesus Christ that this hurt, that this bonding, this binding curse, I want to say, this prison that the enemy wants to put me in, I will be delivered in Jesus Christ's name. I believe that with all of my heart that I'm going to be delivered out of that prison. Just think that it's funny how God will put you in like positions where you're just like, what was that? Like, what was that? And the whole situation with the car, I know it might sound like it's not too much, but it always feels like they're in a competition of, I want to get there before you do. Like, I'm better than you, so I'm going to have all the better things than you do. And that's why I have such a love and respect for God, because look at where God has put me. And at that age, the age of 16, I was living in luxury. God was taking me places that I've never before. And it was just like, I don't know. God has just put me through so much. And at the age of 19, I've accomplished so much that when I sit down and look at myself where I am now, I cry. I told you this, I'm a crybaby. I cry about everything. I cry and I'm just like, God. That's why that song that goes, you lift me up, that song is like everything to me, to more than I can be. God has lifted me in such a height. If only you guys could see how far I've come. And it's the thought of, I remember at some point I was sleeping on chairs in a basement, on chairs. There was 3 chairs. I slept on that. I spent the night on that. I slept on it. It was the most uncomfortable position ever, but that's where I slept. And to see where God has put me now, what a testimony. What a testimony. Like, what an amazing testimony to share with the world, that God can do it. The Lord will do it. He can and he will. You just need to let go. Don't carry what they say with you. At some point, I was carrying that. And that's why when at that age, and I thank the Lord for kind of opening my eyes at that age, I said, I need to stop carrying that with me. Being told that you would never be anything, that I would never make it. You would be nothing in life. You won't be anything, right? Carrying that hurt with me. Oh, I won't be anything. I won't be anything. The Lord has lifted me to such a place. I'm so humbled at your presence, Lord. I'm humbled and grateful for where you've put me today. I will share this testimony and tell people how amazing you are, God, and how you can do it for them too. And do not feel like you need to be there for God to do it. You need to be at that level higher. When Christians are like, oh, I'm better than you, or like, it's just like have that mindset of, I need to be there 100%. No, it's a process. It's a process. Everything is a process. Life will not happen. It's just like you will not wake up one day and the next day you have it all. It's a process. So having that relationship with the Lord is a process. Getting rid of your trauma, not even getting rid, but learning how to live. I don't want to say getting rid of your trauma, because trauma will always be there. Your experience, your past will always be there. But learning how to live and be content is one of the best things that you can do for yourselves. And you don't have to be at such a high level with the Lord. Walk with the Lord little by little, just praying. If just like reading your Bible for 5 minutes, for 15 minutes, Just little by little, you're doing something for the Lord, and the Lord will do something for you too. So that's how you can live a soft life. So I would say this is part one. You need to let go. You need to let go. You need to let go. And letting go will not happen overnight. You will not, and like I said before, I have not let go yet. I still have something, but it's a process. I'm not as hateful as I was before. It's not, I won't, if I see them somewhere else, I can say, hi, God bless you, bye. You know, hi, God bless you, bye. But in the past, I'm not talking to these, I don't want to say nothing to these people at all, okay? But now I've reached a level where I can say, God bless you. Hi, how are you? How you doing? Okay, bye. You know, you don't have to have a full relationship with these people, a full conversation if you don't feel comfortable. No. That's not what forgiveness is. Even though I have not reached that level, I kind of understand what forgiveness is because I have experienced it before. To be soft, girl, to live your life as soft, you need to let go of your trauma. And you can only be so soft as a soldier of God. And you know, you're in the army of heaven. You can only be so soft. And you have to be ready to fight. You know, get your weapon out, fight, and like pray, like a war, pray over you're in the presence of God. That is, you can only be so soft because the enemy will not allow you to be soft. You know what I'm saying? Like the enemy will not allow you to have a day where it's nothing. It's every day is warfare. So just kind of remember that and keep that in mind. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate you. Please subscribe if you haven't. Have a blessed day. Bye, guys.